Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
In Tasmania, the federal budget has received mixed reviews. Aged care stakeholders claim funding doesn't go far enough, while in infrastructure, ambitious timelines have been questioned. But for one industry set to receive tax relief, the funding is a dream come true.
It's not the way many people would describe a federal budget, but for Bill LARK, he says budget day was like Christmas Day.
Oh look, I'm ecstatic. It's a dream come true. It's something we've all hoped for many, many years. It's the one thing that's been really hampering this industry.
New tax relief introduced for brewers and distillers, bringing the sector into line with the wine industry.
We've all had to try and do things on a shoestring when it comes to labour force, and this will now just make it so much easier. We'll have more people in the cellar door, more people on the production line, more people in marketing, and that'll happen straight away.
Economist Saul Eslake says it was the pre-election budget we'd been led to expect.
It's politically convenient for the government to have avoided any tax increases and had some big new spending programs. That doesn't mean it was the wrong thing from an economic point of view.
Tasmania getting significantly more revenue from the GST carve-up.
That will assist us in terms of our financial management, the deficits, and of course will ensure that that additional funding is targeted where it's needed.
Launceston's mayor satisfied with ongoing funding for the City Deal and never-ending Tamar estuary works.
Ensuring that our combined system is not upgraded, but that we are holding the water so during serious floods that there is a scheme where the water can be held and the water won't all flush into the Tamar estuary.
And we already knew about the $322 million cash splash into roads.
We welcome the dollars, there's an awful lot of them. The big question that still remains is where they're going to be spent and in what order.
But the RACT is calling for timelines to be put in place so deadlines don't spiral over the forward estimates.
We've been lobbying for consistent 10-year plans for all Tasmania's highways. There is one for the Midlands Highway. There should be one for the Bass Highway, as that's taken the lion's share of the funding.
The state also said to benefit from $17 billion committed to aged care, promising to cut down the waiting list for home care packages.
But we know that the additional 80,000 packages won't even meet the waiting list of those in Tasmania.
Also left disappointed all of the recommendations from the Royal Commission into the sector weren't funded.
In fact, it's probably about a third of the funding that is required to offer a wholesome response to the recommendations of the aged care final report.
While Tascos labelled the budget a missed opportunity, saying it failed to give a helping hand to those on low incomes, leaving them out in the cold once again.
Living on $44 a day, which is what people have on JobSeeker, it's just not enough to get by. We need to do more to invest in people so that they can actually participate socially and economically.
Now leaving the Commonwealth to come good on its ambitious list of promises. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
And a mass distribution of state election preferences has propelled a host of high-profile names into the lower house. For more on this, we're joined by our reporter Garth Burley. Good evening, Garth. It looks like several MPs have reached the numbers needed to secure their seats.
Yes, that's right, Kim, and probably the most notable name here in the electorate of Bass is Michael Ferguson. Of course, we did expect to see him back, and this afternoon he was elected, with Labor's Janie Finlay and Michelle O'Byrne closely following. But it's the hotly contested seat of Clark where we did see plenty of movement today. Glenorchy Mayor Christy Johnson leads over fellow independent Sue Hickey, while after preferences, Elise Archer reached the quota, as did Labor's Ella Haddad. The Deputy Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe is confident the Liberals will secure a second seat in the electorate and claim a majority government.
I'm expecting, of course, given the vote count in Clark, 1.97 quotas at this point in time, that will achieve our 2 seats in Clark and indeed achieve our 13 seats for a majority.
In Lyons, Mark Shelton and recently breaking news, Jen Butler has been elected. They're the latest members there. While in Braddon, Adam Brooks inches closer towards the golden target. So Kim, with things changing by the hour, it's certainly going to be an interesting few days ahead.
It certainly will be. Thanks very much, Garth, for that update. Well, Liberal Nick DUIGAN has announced he's ready to get down to business after being officially declared as the member for Windermere at a small ceremony in Launceston. DUIGAN, who won the count for the upper house seat by more than 2,000 votes, says his biggest priority over the next 6 years is action on the Tamar River.
The Tamar is so important to Launceston and the way Launcestonians and people in Windermere feel about the place we live.
He also paid tribute to outgoing member Ivan Dean, who retired after close to 2 decades in the position. Almost 24 people have been charged as part of a dedicated task force targeting illegal guns in Launceston. This weekend, police will be carrying out an amnesty drive, giving Tasmanians a chance to hand in firearms without being prosecuted.
Pistols, sawn-off shotguns, rifles and a grenade, just some of the weapons discovered by police in recent weeks.
More concern to us is we did locate a homemade explosive device which are just highly volatile.
A special task force was set up last month to crack down on gun crime in the north of the state.
To date, we've done over 35 searches. We've seized approximately 20 firearms, drugs, ammunition, property. So it's been a real success, the fact that we've seized so many firearms and other items off the street.
Many raids thanks to tip-offs from the public.
We're appealing for that information that we've been receiving over the last 3 to 4 weeks to continue. That is a real driving part of how we're grounding our search warrants to go into places.
Detective Inspector Craig Fox says they're working hard to close in on suspects.
There's definitely people that have strong links to each other's and to organisations that we are looking at, and that they are the people that hopefully our investigations will show that they've been committing some of that gun crime.
An amnesty drive will be held this weekend, allowing people to hand in unregistered firearms without being punished.
Each time we've done one of these, we've taken between 50 and 100 guns off the street. So any unlicensed, unregistered firearms and or ammunition laying around, this is a great opportunity to just talk about it and have the public bring these things in.
Drop-off locations are Carrick Community Centre, Newnham and St Helens police stations and Pipers River Fire Station between 10 and 2 p.m. on Saturday. And for the first time, those who can't make it to a site can call police to arrange a time for officers to pick them up. LETITIA WALLACE, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian health authorities have blacklisted a number of high-risk locations following that recent positive COVID case in Victoria. They include train stations and restaurants in Melbourne. Travellers who have visited these sites since May 6 are not permitted to enter Tasmania, while anyone already here may need to self-isolate. A full list of locations can be found on the Public Health website. From suit wearers to school students, a new mental health campaign is encouraging everyone to don a pair of shorts. Speak Up, Stay Chatty today officially launched Shorts Day, a new initiative falling on June 21, the shortest day of the year. The event is aimed at starting conversations about mental health, which has already been embraced by several schools across the state.
The earlier you can start social and emotional intelligence and getting in touch with your emotions, the better you are able to recognise when you are having difficult times and things that you can do to cope.
We have conversations with people every day that they're battling and they're going through some issues that lots of people don't know about, and they feel like they're going to be judged, and that stigma plays a really big part in them not reaching out and having the conversation.
Funds raised on the day will go back to the charity to continue promoting positive mental health. The battle to save Tasmania's last ice skating rink is heating up, with Colt Olympic hero Stephen Bradbury adding his voice to the campaign. Prospective buyers have given the Glenorchy venue the cold shoulder so far, but those fighting for its future hope an ice skating saviour snaps it up.
The freezing faithful are strapping in for a battle ahead. After 40 years in the same family's hands, the Glenorchy rink is up for sale, putting its future very much on ice.
We're really concerned that it might be sold and repurposed, and that would spell the end of ice sports in Tasmania.
Jen Rayner is spearheading the push to protect the rink, at least until an alternative is able to be built. Inspired by her daughter's desire to continue skating, she's enlisted the help of Ice's kings and queens, the latest Stephen Bradbury.
Bradbury is going to come through and win gold!
Now I know my kids, they spend too much time in front of their bloody iPads. Please guys, support the campaign to save the Tasmanian skating rink.
and Olympian Nancy Kerrigan.
I hope that you are able to save your ice rink, because I would love to get down there and skate with you guys one day.
The only people who need more help than me right now are those passionate about seeing the ice rink survive. If a buyer doesn't come forward, they hope the government will.
Or else 100 years of history could fall over.
The first skaters used to go up to Mountain Field National Park and skate on the Tarn Shelf. And we've had a few different rinks since then, including rinks in Devonport and Launceston. And this is our last remaining rink, so we really hope we can save it.
It's really important to me. It's my passion.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
It's a cuppa and a chat with a cause. The Cancer Council's biggest morning tea is back for another year. To launch the annual event, Tasmania's long-time hosts were treated to a morning tea of their own, whipped up by Drysdale's chefs in training. With 9 Tasmanians receiving a cancer diagnosis every day, many in the room had their own stories to share.
The founder of Stoneman's Garden Centre, Roy Stoneman, passed away in the last few years from pancreatic cancer. So it's something very close to our business and family.
It brings lots of communities together, and communities could be friends, families, organisations. And last year, of course, we couldn't hold biggest morning tea events. So this year, I think there is a great vibe in the room because people are really excited about coming together again.
Over the past 2 decades, Tasmanian hosts have raised more than $1 million for the Cancer Council.
To basketball, the winless Hobart Chargers women's team has its best chance yet of landing a punch this weekend, playing fellow cellar dweller Diamond Valley. While it's an opposite story for the Northwest Thunder in the men's competition, the top of the table clash forcing the coach to contain Diamond Valley's tools. The Thunder is hot property in the NBL 1, coming off a storm of points against Eltham, outscoring the Wildcats by 20 points in the final 13 minutes of the game, in a team full of Northwest locals.
Obviously, it's always good to have imports and good American talent coming in, but having that local group, everyone's kind of on the same page and everyone's kind of bought into the team environment. Everyone's really sacrificed for the benefit of the team.
The Thunder's form's so good, teenagers Taryn Armstrong and Sire Deans aren't walk-up starts after coming back from the Under-20 Championships.
Both good weapons for us, but they're not going to walk straight back into the starting lineup or anything like that. They'll have to find their way back into the way the team's playing at the moment.
Haywood needs to deal with Diamond Valley's tall timbers. The Hobart Chargers are also grappling with what they can do.
I think their starting 2-man is 6'7", and they don't get any smaller across the board where we're on the other side of the ledge.
Stewart will likely look to Jonathan Mines for that lift.
I think Jono's not far off being an NBL calibre player. He's played a lot of time in Europe.
While the winless women can finally snatch a gong against Diamond Valley, with the WNBL's Maddie Garrick returning to the Chargers ahead of a stint in Europe.
Wait and see what happens after that around, what are their quarantine periods coming back in.
And Keely Froling is being praised by Launceston Tornadoes coach Sarah VEALE for her tough-as-nails battle with Eltham's and Ellie Malley, a one-on-one which kept the Tawns in the game.
She was 10 rebounds less than what she normally does, and Keely is, as usual for us, is a prolific scorer.
We both love rebounding, so it's always going to be a big battle on the boards, but it was a good battle.
Good evening. First up tonight, I'd like to thank Mitch from Speak Up Stay Chatty, who's already signed me up for the big fundraiser next month on the shortest day of the year when we can wear shorts to work. What a great idea. Not too sure if these are short longs or long shorts, but I'll get them on. Around the state today, Lake St Clair had -5 this morning and King Island recorded 17, and that was the range. Hobart, Launceston and Burnie 15, Devonport a top of 16 degrees. Lowhead, Grove and St Helens 15, Bushy Park and Strawn 14 today, Lyoweeney a top of 8. Cloud covered a large portion of the state today, clear skies over the far southwest of the state. Rain-bearing cloud is over southeast Queensland and eastern New South Wales. Low cloud extends through Bass Strait to over the Bight. Cloud with the front is south of WA. Tomorrow, a weakening cold front will cross Tasmania with another not that far behind. A high-pressure ridge moves over central Australia. The northwesterly winds will shift west-southwesterly late tomorrow morning at around 20 to 30 knots, so we do have a strong wind warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters. Hobart for Thursday, 17 with an afternoon shower. Showers clearing from Cygnet, 16 the top, 16 also for New Norfolk. Launceston showery and 17, 16 for Devonport, a shower or two increasing for Campbelltown, 15 the high. For Burnie, 15 degrees, a windy day with the wet weather. Showers for Strawn, 15, 15 also for Smithton. St Helens looking for 17 degrees with showers easing. Showers increasing for Swansea a bit further south, 18 the top there and 16 for Fingal. Snow to 500 metres on Friday, along with showers over most districts apart from the east coast. Morning frost over the northeast on Saturday, a shower over the west and south, a bit more snow but rising from the 500 metre mark. And on Sunday, showers over the west, central and south, extending statewide in the evening. Further north, and a sunny 22 in Perth. Morning showers in Adelaide, an afternoon shower for Melbourne. Sydney fine and 23, a bit of cloud over Brisbane, sunny over the top end. And cloudy here, 14 right now in Hobart, 12 in Launceston and Devonport. Kim, I've had a look at the long-range forecast for the shortest day of the year. It's also going to be the coldest day of the year.
And those shorts look like your size too, Merv. Extra medium. And that is your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Good night.